Hi guys, Jay here. I have this Viofo Dashcam 139 Pro 2 channel with a Starvis 2. That's pretty much the reason why I decided to purchase this. This video is non-sponsored, it's important to say that. So this is purely on me. Um, I'm hoping that this is going to help you figure out how to do the installation on your car. I'm doing this on my BMW F11. It's a 5 Series combi, and I'm going to combine this with a little bit different way of plugging into a power source. As you can see, I'm going to try to combine this with a Garmin OBD II adapter. I couldn't really read anything online on reviews how this works together, so I'm looking forward how this is going to work. Uh, the camera itself, you're going to see, I'm going to unpack it in a minute, but otherwise there is another video where I'm unboxing this where you can see what is in the box. What I'm going to do, I'm going to pull the cables, the coaxial cables for the rear, and camera is going to be here. Power cable is going to go front of the windshield, A pillar, and then down around my feet where the OBD2 is. I'm going to show you where the OBD2 plug is on this car. And I'm gonna need a light. So there is my OBD2. As you can see, it's pretty nice placed. I want to stay away from the lighter plug, so this is a no-go. But if that's what you want to do, there is actually one extra plug for lighter for right there. But I'm not going to explore this option. So the camera is gonna come here. Then I'm going to pull the power cable this way. That's going to be the way I'm going to be pulling the cable for the rear camera. And the point here is I really want to hide all these cables so it's not visible at all. And I also have the opening window on the back. So the plan is to place the camera somewhere here. And again, I would like to make this as neat as possible. No cables visible. Yeah, so this is going to be interesting. So let me quickly open up and quickly show you. That's the OBD, that's the camera, rear camera. It's gonna come here. Cables. I'm going to also show you how long the cables are because I couldn't really find that anywhere. Um, Power cable is, as you can see, 3.5 meters. Um, it's stuck there at front of my front wheel, so the 2 centimeters is missing, but it is 2.5 meter long. And the cable for the rear camera, my meter ends at 5 meters, but this is roughly another 50 centimeters extra, so let's call it 5.5 meters. Um, I believe this is plenty of cables for such a car. I'm going to use the 3M without this additional sticker you can put on your window. It doesn't really hold on a part of the window where I want to put it in. So I'm going to go straight away for 3M. As you can see, that's the part of the window I'm talking about where the sticker doesn't really hold. But the 3M, I have a really good experience with holding on. So I'm just gonna go for that straight away. I'm gonna peel this out and I'm gonna place the camera with a power cable already in because I want to have it nice and neat and as close to the place where I'm going to tuck it in. So this is what I'm just going to do. I'm going to go ahead and place it in a position and press it well, just like that. Now you can actually slide out the camera. Sorry that you can't really see that, but you're going to see that the adapter where the camera slides in stays in a place. Just make sure that you really press this right, just so it holds well. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to turn this off and change the sides because now I need to pull the cable, the power cable into the OBD II, which is on the driver's side. And here it is. I pulled out this airbag cover. The cable is going to go this way. Right, I'm already tucking it in. And if you have a flat screwdriver, you can very easily pop this out. There is just clips holding it, so just be a little bit careful so you don't rip them out because you do want to put this back. It says airbag on it, so there is an airbag right under this. But the cables are not going to be any obstacle to airbags popping out if that's the case. Hopefully not. And I'm going to push the cable this way, but first I'm going to use my Torx just to take this out, to loosen this up a little bit more so we can put in the cable nice and neat right under this little plastic panel. Let me put on a little bit of lights just so I can show you how this cable actually comes in. It's fairly thick cable, uh, so that's why I actually decided to loosen this up and tuck the cable under because I really don't want anything to be sticking out and looking like a cheap installation. Maybe I need to loosen this up a little bit more just so I can tuck it in proper. The best friend for this job is actually the tool you see in my hand. It comes together with a camera and it's really nice to keep popping the plastics and push the cable in. As you can see now it looks nice and neat. I just push everything back into the place. There's still plenty cable to continue the job. I'm gonna wind it on together when everything is hidden. Let me put those tools I don't need for now on the side so I don't forget anything anywhere. And now let's try and see how we're going to do this low part here. It keeps going on in that place quite easily. And now I'm going to see there's the OBD II, it's already plugged in. I just wanted to see which direction the cable goes. There's the different switches for 10 minutes, 24 hours, and until the battery dies. And what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to loosen up these screws just so I can get in there and connect everything nicely together and also hide the rest of the cable into the place. I would like to make this the way that nothing rattles. This is a little bit tricky to show you, but I will try. So I'm just pulling the USB plug up there. There's a couple of possibilities where you can actually hide the cable here, but you're going to see in a minute where I'm going to go with this. So let's just wind up the cable together. I'm just gonna put it here for a second. I'm going to grab a zip tie and try to put it in all together just so it stays and it doesn't open up and starts hanging. So this is how it's going to look. Getting the zip it together, or you can use also a tape if you like. Just like that. Clipping off the rest. Now just making sure that the cable is going in. You can see it's gonna be somewhere there. So after a few minutes and a lot of swearing, to be honest, because these are very tight places, you can't barely see where the cable is, but I managed to zip tie it into the panel. As you can see, the zip tie is sticking out. I just need to cut that remaining piece out, hopefully without cutting anything else. It's a very tight spot, so very sorry that it's difficult for you to see what I'm actually doing there. But once you get to that point and you start looking in, those things are gonna be clear for you. Just make sure you don't pull out any other cables or ripped off any other clips. Now I've just put the plastic clips into the position and close this up. It goes fairly easy. There, as I mentioned, I'm gonna put back all the screws on the end. There is no need for you to suffer with me. So everything is in place. So now when the power cable is in place, now the more interesting part of the job, and that's the cable from the front to the rear. So I just plugged in the cable into the camera. There's a nice indication on the camera. It says rear, so that's where the cable goes for the rear camera. I just put it into place just so it's holding for me in the final position, and now I can start tucking in the cable around the front window, around the pillar, all the way, all the way above back door, and all the way to the C pillar and to the back. So this part is fairly easy. It just keeps on sliding in. Here there's not even a need to loosen up the screw like I did on the other side. And the cable is much slimmer and it goes very easy in. That's why I'm playing this even fast. So you guys don't need to wait for the final result. So putting it into position, the C pillar, pulling the cable a little bit in there in case the airbag wants to pop out, just so the cable is allowing it. The airbag is not going to have a problem with the cable anyway, but this is more a mental thing than a useful thing. So now the more funny part, and that is to put the cable into my trunk bore. As you can see, I removed this plastic cover with two screws because I have the window opening on my trunk. So there are two screws in there. That's the first one. That's the second one, and then you just pull out. There's a cable which goes into the power supply for the window, and I would like to pull the cable this way and have a camera placed right here. So this is going to be a little bit more tricky, and I have also loosened up this panel. This is a little tricky because I have the automatic roulette. So this is what you need to keep in mind. Make sure that the mechanism for the roulette goes all the way up so you can actually pull out this panel. There is one screw, there is a second screw, and then you just wiggle it out. This is how it looks when it's still in place. And I'm going to use my best friend here to pull it a little bit out. It pops right out of the place, and now it hopefully allows me for a little bit of the wiggle place for the cable to come through. So I'm going to just tuck in the remaining parts around that last window. But before I do that, I want to pull this end of the cable which goes to a camera. I need a light for this. I want to pull it right through. As you can see, it went fairly simple. And now I'm just going to tuck it in around the window. Sorry once again that you don't really see what I'm doing. Hopefully it's fairly obvious. So the cable came out through that hole where the rest of the cables are. As you can see, now I'm going to pull out this cover. It's just sitting on clips, no screws, nothing like that. Just gently pull and it's gonna come right off. Right. As you see, all the original power supplies and the sprinkler water comes through there. And I would like to sort of follow that cable bundle in there. But first, I'm going to consolidate all the cables and put them right in there. It doesn't seem like it's going to rattle because it's all soft there. So uh, I've put it in a loop without bending the cable. I'm assuming it's a coaxial cable, so I'm trying to treat it a little bit carefully. I'm going to pull the cable this way, and I'm using the wires which came in the box, holding on the cables together. I think they come quite handy in this step here where I don't really want to use any zip ties or tape, and I don't want to squeeze everything too much together. Pretty much just hold it in place. So that's what I'm doing at the moment, tucking all in. Once again, sorry that I'm actually filming something else. So now I've put in the seal for the back door, removed these tapes which I prepped, hoping I'm going to need them, but I didn't. I'm going to clip this panel back into its place. Once again, it's just clips with that little bit of alignment. It goes right into the place without any excessive force. Off we go. Pan is back. I've just once again used the 3M which was on the back of the camera. Stick it in, pressed it really well. It helps if the tape is a little bit warmed up. And now I just plug it in and push that little bit of excessive cable back. And I believe I'm done. Now I just need to clean up everything and put in all the plastic covers and screws, and that's it. The hardest job is done. So the camera, it's working, as you can see. It's transmitting to my phone via Wi-Fi, front and rear images. The OBD II is lighting up, it's powering up everything, so it's working well. Let me open the trunk and show you how everything is looking there. Still looking nice and neat, I believe. All the functionalities of trunks work, and this is how it all looks like. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I hope that this was helpful for you. If you like this, please feel free to subscribe to this channel and ask if there are any questions. I'm more than happy to answer. Have a lovely day. Hope to see you on the next one. Bye.